Stay tuned for Airgun Detectives.
Welcome to another episode of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host, JC. Today we are going to take the mystery out of the AEA Megalodon 15. This is a pump action PCP rifle. But before we get started on that, do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button right there in the corner. Really helps support the channel. It's absolutely free, and I would greatly appreciate that. Also, check out my website if you have an opportunity, www.airgundetectives.com. On that site, I've got various t-shirts, I've got hats, I have my Generation 2 bipods, I have some rec scopes on there, still have some of those. And you gammo shooters that shoot the CAT or the SAT trigger, I have the very inexpensive gammo trigger kit. And that will actually turn those triggers in match style trigger. I'm telling you, it'd be the best 10 bucks you've ever spent on an air gun, I promise you. Okay, let's get back to the subject on hand. This is the AEA Megalodon. This is a pump action PCP rifle, and it comes in both a 15-inch barrel, which this one is, and a 22-inch barrel. I want to thank right off the bat, once again, I picked this up from Ben at the pellet shop. I'll leave you guys a link below. He's one of my go-to guys, that's for sure, when it comes to AEAs, and he's got plenty of other air rifles. So check that out. Leave you guys a link below. Anyway, this pump action Megalodon is in 35 caliber. They actually make 35 caliber, which this is, once again, 45 caliber, 50 caliber, 510 caliber, and 58 caliber. So there's definitely a variety there. Anyway, the 35 caliber or 357 caliber, it comes with 2 magazines. I'm going to show you guys that. They're 2 11-round magazines, so it comes with these included. You also get your fill probe. This one actually, this rifle is a 500 cc air capacity. It's got a front tank, which the pump action surrounds it right here, and then it has a rear tank. And then when you screw this in, it actually charges the whole system. So when you fill it, you just fill it from the back here. There's a fill probe. Let me show you real quick. Right here. This just drops down in there like that, and you put your air source on it. But that will fill both tanks. So there's your fill probe. Anyway, we've got your pressure gauge right here. Again, this is a 4,500 PSI fill, and we have a 500 cc tank. So you got the 2 tanks here. The rifle is 31.5 inches overall, and it weighs just under 8 pounds. It comes with a little Picatinny rail. As you see, I put the bipods on here. That's just strictly for display right now. We're just setting it up with that. It's got Picatinny rail up here. It's got a 3-pound trigger. That's what they're claiming. It's a 3-pound trigger. The rifle, they claim, with 120 grain pellet and above, will shoot in the mid 700s, and you're going to get around 160 foot-pounds of energy. But we're going to test that. But speaking of testing, so we're going to have to test this in the backyard. So I have a solution for that. Our buddy Donnie at DONNYFL has the Emperor suppressor, and we're going to put a suppressor on here. And you know, the great thing is, it really balances the look of this short barrel rifle. It really does. I'm going to show you guys right now. So we've got his suppressor. God, he makes some just absolute quality moderators. They're second to none. No one makes a better moderator than this guy. And you know, it's the old saying, you get what you pay for, and that's truth with these. So we're going to put this moderator on here, because believe it or not, these rifles are a little bit on the loud side, because you got to remember, you've got a 4,500 PSI fill, so you're pushing a lot of air out of there. But these will actually turn this backyard friendly. And you got to admit, that looks really good on there. It's balanced. I mean, it looks like such a tactical rifle. But this is designed for hunting. That's what it's designed for. The pump action, you got quick follow-up shots. So thank God for this, so we can test this here in the backyard. Now, I'll leave you guys a link below for DONNYFL. So you can check out his moderators and the other stuff. I also topped this. The scope looks familiar. I used this in another video, took it off another rifle. This is our Discovery. This is the ED-AR 1-8x24, one of my absolute favorites. Has that Christmas tree reticle, but Discovery optics are just incredible. Their scopes are fantastic. So that is a Discovery Opt, and the scope mount is from them as well. You see it's mounted on the Picatinny rail here. I am really excited to go shoot this. Oh, by the way, I want to show you guys real quick. So this does have a pump action, and it's very, very smooth. So you pump this back and then move it forward. Now, it can be decocked. They say you can decock it by holding onto the pumping arm. I just like to take the hammer right here, push safety in, hammer right here, and just squeeze the trigger and gently bring this forward just like that. And it's decocked. So you can definitely decock it. Anyway, I can't get over how cool this thing looks though. This has your AR style grip on it as well. Let's go out and test this thing. I'm excited to go shoot this and show it to you guys. So stay tuned for the next segment. All right, let's test out our 357 Megalodon. Over the chronograph, what are we gonna shoot? JTS dead centers. These are their hollow point slugs. They're 357 slugs. They're basically 103.86 grains. We'll just call it 104 grain, roughly, 104 grain pellet. But let's just shoot 5 shots over the chrony. We'll see how it works out. You guys notice I got my DONNYFL suppressor on here because I would not be shooting this thing in the backyard without it. This makes it, actually from my backyard, it makes it backyard friendly. So we're gonna shoot 5 shots. These things are just absolutely amazing. Anyway, 5 shots over the chrony. See how we do. All right, shot number 1. 935. Shot number 2. 910. Shot number 3. 900. Shot number 4. 904. And one more shot. 893. Whoa. Guys, check out that foot-pounds of energy. This thing's definitely putting it out there, that's for sure. And as you saw, this suppressor makes it backyard friendly. Thank you for that moderator there, DONNYFL, for making those. That's fantastic. All right, there you go, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, we're going to test our Megalodon for some accuracy here. Thank God for my DONNYFL moderator here. I wouldn't be able to do this in the backyard. You guys can see we're pretty much on a cliff here. I'm on the very edge here, so we can get our maximum distance. I was able to get about 45 yards out, but I got a good background. When you're shooting something that puts out 100 foot-pounds of energy, you got to make sure you have something that's really safe. So I got a nice hillside that we're going to go ahead and shoot into. But I got 2 targets set up there. Go ahead and check that out real quick. You can see our 2 targets. Yeah, I've got the 4-inch splatterburst. So here's what we're going to do. Did some more testing. The most accurate pellet to shoot out of this is the AEA Center Punch Diablo, more of a traditional pellet. And these are 79 grains. They shoot on average 1,038 feet per second and gives us just under that 190 foot-pounds of energy, okay? So I'm gonna shoot 1 target with those. So we're gonna do 5 shots with those. The other target, as far as slugs go, I tried a few of them, including the ones that we did in our chrono test, but just didn't quite give me the accuracy, spread out too much. But these grizzlies, the H&N grizzlies, these actually shot really well. They average about 1,022 feet per second, and we got about 190 foot-pounds of energy. They're an 82 grain slug. So we're gonna shoot 5 shots on that. So we're gonna shoot, we'll shoot 5 shots first on the first target. We'll shoot these AEA center punches, as I described. And then we'll switch over with the next target, and we will shoot the grizzlies. All right. Okay, 5 shots. Let's just see how well we do. All right, shot number 1. Gotta make sure that magazine stays in. All right, shot number 2. Shot number 3. Shot number 4. And shot number 5. That's a pretty good group, I do have to say, for 45 yards. Okay, now we're going to switch over to the slugs, the grizzly slugs. All right. All right, shot number 1. Yeah, these are pretty good, I tell you. Shot number 2. Shot number 3. Shot number 4. And shot number 5. There you go. Not too shabby if you think about that. Those are pretty good groups for 45 yards, especially for something with a 15-inch barrel. Not too shabby. But I would imagine this is kind of more of your hunter. You've just got your pump action, do good follow-up shots. So anyway, so you guys see what the accuracy is. Let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's test the trigger on our Megalodon. Got our trusty Lyman trigger gauge here. Let's go ahead and reset it. See what we got. £3.5 pounds, 3 pounds, 5 ounces. Respectable trigger. Gotta like it. Great hunting trigger, actually. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's do a little plinking with our Megalodon. We're going to use the AEA Center Punch Diablos. These are the 79.17 grain pellet. Anyway, we got a few targets up there. Go ahead and check this out. We're roughly the same distance that we were when we were doing the accuracy test. We're close to that 45-yard mark. But go ahead and see what we got up there. Got a couple of rams, a couple little eggs, and a steel pipe. This thing hits pretty hard, so I'm kind of trying to go with more of the heavier duty type of target. So, you know, when you're putting out over 100 foot-pounds of energy. Anyway, let's see if we can take these out. I'm going to start with the ram on the left side. This thing, it is unbelievable, the impact of this thing. Thank God for DONNYFL, or I wouldn't have this moderator. I couldn't even be doing this back here. Makes all the difference in the world. All right, the next ram. You hear that smack? The smack is louder than the gun itself. All right, I'm gonna try to take the pipe out on the right side here. Kind of got a funny shadow here. Trying to get it sighted in. Unbelievable. I'm telling you guys, the power of this thing, this is a hunter's dream, I'm telling you. And one more. Nah, I'm not gonna be able to hit that one. It turned sideways. I'm gonna take one shot at it, but that's it. But it turned sideways on us. You see that? I can't. There's no way. Okay, so I hit it. I didn't think I was gonna, but I did. The raw power of this rifle is just unbelievable. Remember, we're shooting these ones right here well over 1,000 feet per second. So, like I said, you're putting out almost 190 foot-pounds of energy. So we're just shy of 200 foot-pounds. Yeah, as you can see the power on it with those steel plates, knocking them around like they're light aluminum cans. Yeah, I am thoroughly impressed with this. You guys see I do have this, I mentioned it earlier. This is the Discovery scope, which I just love their optics. I've had this on another rifle. Anyway, let's, yeah, I'm just kind of really excited about this one. Let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. We'll go ahead and wrap this up. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up with our conclusion, with our Megalodon 15. Remember, this comes in 15 and 22 inch. This is our 15 inch. I just have to say, this is a powerhouse. This is a hunter's dream. And this is really fun to shoot. Because when you're shooting this, man, it's about as close to the power of a powder burning rifle that you're going to get. It is just tremendous in this pump action. Wow. But anyway, let's get into the negatives. Don't have any. This is an outstanding performer. It's all there is to it. This thing is just outstanding. Maybe what I would like, if they could put a regulator in one of these, but it's not a deal breaker at all, not even close. And I'll get to that in a minute because I charted this for you and I'll show you guys the sweet spot. But let's talk about it. This is a powerhouse. Think about it. It's a perfect hunting rifle, and we're getting up to about 190 foot-pounds of energy. Okay? The pump action is just outstanding. It's nice and smooth. It's great for those follow-up shots. And you got 11 round magazines, so you got plenty of rounds. The accuracy. This is more than accurate enough to do hunting in. You guys saw in our accuracy test, we were out about 45 yards and we were putting some pretty good groups together, I do have to say. So, and the pellets that I used, the 104 grain roughly ones I used during the chrono test, those weren't just spread out a little too much. They didn't provide enough accuracy, in my opinion. I like my groups just a little bit tighter. And that's why these, around these 80 grain pellets just seem to do so well in this rifle. They really did. So let's go ahead, and speaking of the chart, let's go ahead and look at the chart. Okay. So we started out with a 4,500 PSI fill, 310 bar. You don't want to go over that, 4,500. So the sweet spot on this rifle. So as you notice, there's no regulator. So starting from the first shot, it kind of works its way down from there. But you're going to get between shot number 1 and shot number 17, okay, you're going to get an average about 957 feet per second, and you're going to get about 165 foot-pounds of energy. Now that's obviously going to be higher in your top row. I just averaged the first 17 shots. If you just do 10 shots, you're going to get higher foot-pounds of energy. You're going to get higher velocity. So what I did was the 1 to 17 is going to be your sweet shot, because you got to remember, shooting. We're shooting the 80 grain pellet. We're shooting the AEAs. They're running an 80 grain pellet. So you'll get a full 2 magazines above 800 feet per second. So you can get 22 shots out of this above that 800 feet per second mark. So not too shabby there. Like I said, this is a hunter's dream. The rifle without the suppressor is a bit loud for a backyard, but thank God for DONNYFL for making these moderators. This is their Emperor model, and it is tremendous. I'll leave you guys a link below because this makes a great package. And not to mention, it gives it a very balanced look. You got this 15-inch barrel, then you got this roughly 10 to 12-inch moderator on there. It really balances out the rifle. It really does. You know what? This allowed me to do this testing right here, and I love that because then I can get it done rather than trying to arrange to go someplace else. I get this done sooner, get the video out to you. You know, all the DONNYFL products are just incredible. All the ones that I've used over the years, they're just outstanding. The quality is second to none. These are all DONNYFL's all 5-star products. So anyway, I'll leave you guys a link below. So if you guys want to check those out, that would be great. Also, again, I use this Discovery scope. Discovery is becoming one of my absolute favorites. It really is. This is the ED-AR. This is the 1 to 8 by 24. The glass on this is just simply amazing. Yeah, I tested this before on another rifle previously, but I just figured it would be the perfect match for this one. Also, back to the Megalodon here. This thing's incredible. I love the air capacity on it. I love the trigger on it. And I love just the raw power. This is so much fun to shoot. And the accuracy, yeah, it surprised me even a little bit. So, without a doubt, this is no less than a 5-star gun. Without a doubt. This is tremendous. If you're into hunting, you want something with some power that you can get some bigger game with, this would be your answer right here. And remember, it comes in the various calibers. It's about 5 different calibers that'll come in. Also, I want to thank Ben again at the Pellet Shop. This is where I picked this up from. And he has all kinds of products other than this specific rifle. So check that out. I'll leave you guys a link below. And Ben always gives tremendous customer service, so check that out. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Airgun Detectives. Don't forget, this is where we take the mystery out of the air gun. So until next time, I hope you and your families are doing well and you're getting plenty of shooting in. So take care and God bless.